I'm Ricky Valero. Today I'm going to be reviewing the upcoming Apple TV Plus series, High Desert. High Desert is a brand new 8-episode series that follows Peggy Newman, a woman with a checkered past making life-changing decisions to become a private investigator following the death of her beloved mother. The series kicks off with us meeting Peggy and Denny, a husband and wife combo having the big get-together with some friends and family at their house. The party comes to a crashing halt as the FBI storms in and raids the house, leading to Denny going to jail. After this, the series gives us a 10-year jump. It's been many years and Peggy's still trying to discover her life. From working in a small-town desert village to struggling with her addiction. As her life is coming to a crashing halt, she sits in a bar with her friend Carol, figuring out how she will make money. Her brother and sister are breathing down her neck to sell her mother's house that she's living in. While the conversation happens, Peggy sees this man on the screen. He's a private investigator that ripped off her friend. That leads to her next goal, becoming a private investigator. Now, Patricia Arquette leads this fantastic ensemble cast as Peggy. Often we see actors just come in, kill a part, and move on. With Peggy, it's almost as if this role was meant for Patricia Arquette and her alone. Arquette is a delight in this role and brings such a strong comedy aspect to this troubling character. Speaking of ensemble, I loved what Matt Dillon and Brad Garrett brought to their respective roles in the show, and absolutely adored Rupert Friend, a friend as Guru Bob. He just brings so much comedy to this kind of chicken shit style villain that made you sit back and enjoy the pain this character is suffering. Another standout for me was Wereuche Opia as Carol. My biggest bone to pick with High Desert is this. We didn't get more screen time for Carol. She was such an underdeveloped character on the show, and it sucked because every time we saw Carol and Peggy on the screen together, you lit up because their chemistry really worked fantastic. Opia and Arquette were great together. You wanted more from Carol, and I'm hoping that if this does get a second season, we explore this character more because she's there and she's very vital to the overall story of what's transpiring and what happens. She helps move a lot of the plot points throughout the series, but you get very little details of who she is, how she got to where she was, and what connects her with Peggy completely. There's little bits and pieces, but not enough to chew on. Now, the ride for me was a little too bumpy for its own good. Have you ever been on a roller coaster that you thought you were having the time of your life, only that you were getting ready to have the time of your life, but only for you to be let down? That's what it felt like watching High Desert. The writers do a good job of making things look good, but when it comes to the actual ride, they struggle to put the pieces together to really let anything fully developed to really grasp on that journey. For me, I thought there was several episodes that really felt like they were just fillers. And the problem with that is you have 8 episodes that range between that 25 to 30 minute range. So you're not giving these characters fully developed that 50-minute to fully developed, right? So you're starting to, on this ride of Peggy, and then there's Carol, and then there's all these Guru Bob, and there's so many different characters that are pulling from you. And then of course you have Denny, then you have Bruce, you have all of these characters. And what really struggles the most here is all of the pieces come together towards the end. You're like, oh, well, that's it. Like, you have this entire thing where Peggy's trying to find out who murdered Don. And by the time that we get there, it's just so underwhelming that you're like, man, I really wish they would have done this instead of that. That is what I hated the most about the show. It's going to be an easy binge. Overall, I thought the High Desert Journey is somewhat disappointing considering its strong effort from the cast. That being said, I didn't hate the show. I think a weekly option for the show is not going to be something that I think people will really just dive into. I personally feel like this is the type of show that you just go all in and binge it all at once, all 8 episodes. I recommend checking out High Desert just slightly, just because of Patricia Arquette's fantastic work in the series. High Desert comes to Apple TV Plus on May 17th.